we can talk to the crowd. So, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and all other types of individuals out there. This is the Gamers at Large podcast, episode 124, one away from 125. And I have with me my enthusiasts and panelists. I have with me Mr. Kwame Chu.
Was
I have with me the Good Shepherd.
What's cracking, y'all? Damn it! I got splatted.
I have I have Andre, the game idea guy.
I don't know. Shep kind of threw me off with that squeal there when he.
Sorry, somebody nailed me with a killer whale midair. I couldn't dodge it.
We also have Dr. Feelgood. He'll come in at a later time right now, but he is on the line awaiting. So how you guys feeling?
Well, I'm feeling all right.
Everybody been playing their games and playing your games full and not being insecure.
Oh, well, I've been playing my Nino Kuni. I've been playing Nino Kuni for my wife again.
Okay.
I started off fresh. I decided to start it off fresh and whatnot and come up with a fresh crew of monsters. You know what I'm saying? And
What's up, guys?
Prepared for the final battle, but I'm doing it from the very beginning.
All right. And now we got a man, Dr. Feelgood. What's going on?
I was saying something, but I had my wrong mic activated.
Okay. Not a problem.
We got
Not a
three
problem.
different mics.
Technical issues.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody needs a pop filter.
This is a night of technical issues. So speaking of which, I have made some changes.
It is a technical issue.
Yes, I've made some changes to my the settings on my microphone as well. So let me know if I start sounding like Galvatron again. I shouldn't, but if I do, please let me know. And viewers, all one of you watching right now, if it happens, I apologize.
Well, I'll just sit up here and make the excuse that Unicron's now your master.
Unicron is everybody's master. It's the way the world works.
Can you say he's the Thanks Obama meme? No?
Look, Shao Kahn, Thanos, Gargos, everybody thinks they're the ultimate bad guy. They all serve Unicron. Mm-hmm. Roger Goodell in the NFL, he serves Unicron. Everybody serves Unicron. The way it works.
I mean, well, it was since we talking about not. I've been playing actually this game called Justice Chronicles.
Okay.
I've been playing it on my Amazon tablet. It's actually pretty good. I didn't. It's got comedy. The battle system is nice. Like, this is a pretty good game. It's on a 3DS too. I think it's like $10 on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But if you get it on mobile, it's like $4. So
You know how that works.
Yeah, it's probably just because the mobile crowd won't pay more than like $5 for a good game.
Plus, there's probably more content too on the 3DS.
Mario Run is $10. Oh my god!
Yeah. It might actually have more content on the 3DS version. I don't know yet because I haven't bought it yet. But it could also be because it feels and controls better on the 3DS. So.
You know, there's this one game that I'm eyeing on Good Old Games called Crosscode.
Oh yeah, you should get it.
I'm thinking about jumping on that sucker and pulling the trigger on that because it's got like that Zelda vibe to it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think I've played the demo of that. It's pretty good.
Oh, okay. Wow, cool. Then I'm gonna get it.
I'm planning on getting it myself. It's just I've been so engrossed in trying to beat other games. I haven't really looked at anything else.
So y'all don't want to get that. I mean, you don't want to get that. You want to get the Breath of the Wild. Or you want to play nothing else, right? Y'all just want rip-offs. Is that
when that happens, I'm going to be a hermit for a month and a half. I don't even know if my YouTube channel going to get me.
Well, at least you have that as an excuse. I'm a hermit regardless.
Yo, check it. I plan on getting me the Nintendo Switch Premium console case, the little earbuds for chat that are Zelda themed, and the skin that's Zelda themed.
Oh wait! You can't use earbuds with a Nintendo Switch. You gotta have the app.
Did you get the massager for your back?
Say again.
Do you know there's a limited edition Zelda massager, right? It looks like one of those look like a mace.
Oh Lord.
Yo, I'm also gonna
they use Bluetooth 5.68.
I plan on getting the SanDisk Ultra 200 gig SD card for it too, just for the eShop games.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap.
I go front. I'm probably gonna do the same. I might even get the 256 one actually.
Yeah, but like I said, I'd go on even 200 because I don't plan on going that wild, and plus the price is really good. You can't beat it.
Yeah,
70
that's
bucks.
SanDisk 200. SanDisk 200 is like what, $80, if that.
70.
Yeah, 70.
Oh,
That's not
okay,
bad.
okay.
I mean,
For-
and
That's right, because I got that from my son's tablet. Shh, I don't spoil him.
Yeah, you can get two of those for the same price as the 256, pretty much, depending on where you. Yeah, so that's 400 gigs in your pocket.
yo, I'm gonna tell you something like this right now. Shep and I will definitely have to sit up here and play some local multiplayer when we get the chance.
Oh, that's a good one, bro. I already told you I'm hunting. I'm
Mario
going to get you a
Kart.
place, get a
I'll go
closer location.
Dude, I'll go down where you're at and we get ready to play. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about talking to my wife about moving down to Somerset.
Bro, you're not supposed to tell people where I live in Somerset, New Jersey, zip code 08873. Check me out.
He's all giving like next thing he's gonna sit up here and give latitude and longitude on the map and whatnot.
I was actually,
No, see what he's doing. What he's doing is trying to bait people. He's like, yeah, go ahead and come down here. We'll see if you
I mean,
pop up.
you can come on. You come on down to 30314 too. If you know what that zip code is, you already know what time it is.
Oh, come over here to 07104. You go running back.
yeah.
Can I pay you to leave here? Can I pay you to leave?
No. Trust me, they would leave. They would sit up here and ask me to pay them to stay.
They would pay you for protection. Please, I just need to leave here safely. Can you help me out?
Yeah, wrong.
Anyway, guys, video games. I ran through a backlog. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still finishing The Last of Us right now. The remastered version, I guess, on PS4. I've been playing pretty much everything. I played some of the GOTY nominees for this year and last year, so the year before that as well. So Brothers.
So you played The Witcher DLC?
No, not yet. No. The Witcher DLC, the ultimate premium game of the year nominee. That beat out an entire game, Xenoblade Chronicles and Demon Souls. So go figure. I don't know how that happened, other than there being some extreme bias and people being nominated for Developer of the Year for being a friend. We've joked about that enough, but
You got it, friend.
you're a good friend. You're a Developer of the Year. What?
Wow.
So yeah. Yeah, I've been playing Dear Esther and just a bunch of stuff on Steam.
Oh wow.
Been playing Super Hot and
Hot.
yeah, y'all probably saw me. Yeah, over and over again.
That's like the funniest thing about that game. That's the reason you play that game.
Exactly. And has anybody played that game? Have you seen the little chat lobby? It's like straight IRC, and you go in there and they have like full blown conversations talking about people's moms and everything.
Oh, you know what I'm upset about? The fact that they didn't put out a decent version of Terraria out on the Wii U when they could have done it because it has a decent enough frame buffer to pull it off.
I wonder. You think they were already so late to the party? They were just trying to do whatever.
Yeah, they set up. They only released the 2.4 patch, the 1.24 patch, and that's it.
You want games like that and Minecraft. You want those. You want to put all your effort on the Nintendo platform for those types of games. I don't know why. I don't know what they were thinking when it came to some of that stuff. I know what happened with Minecraft. That was Microsoft literally like, okay, we cannot make it better than our platform. We cannot. So
they should have put some at least a good amount of like Nintendo style Easter eggs, like Samus Aran, etc. Besides doing the whole pack that they gave with Mario and all that.
I would have been good if it was just fully, deeply integrated with the gamepad, but that would have officially made every other version inferior. So
yeah, that would have.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't.
I think that's part of the reason why the gamepad didn't fly.
That's what pisses me
'Cause
off
you're
about the
talking about all
gamepad.
these-
It's an unfair advantage, and the other parties would complain.
Yeah, every other game has a HUD all over the screen, tearing up your screen.
Hold on, because Microsoft has smart glass. They could have used that to integrate it in there.
This is true.
I've been saying that for years, and I've been saying the same thing
And
about
Sony has PSP, so
They did it in 2013 because they thought the Wii U was going to take off.
Mhm.
So in preparation of that, you had the Vita, you had the PlayStation Store app, which also can render a screen, and the other second screen experience that Microsoft had. So they were planning it
They
because
were planning for it.
Yeah, they're planning for it to take off. When they saw everybody left and didn't really support Wii U, they was like, "Well, we ain't got to do that no more. Great, throw it all away." And
kind of like the Kinect and the PlayStation Move.
Yep.
Because Dead Rising 3 supported it. Had like a tablet, like you can use a tablet to play multiplayer or whatever, or
you can do
call
the
in
airstrikes and stuff. Yeah.
So that kind of stuff was supported. So it could have been a 2-screen future.
It leads me to believe that, like I said before in the off air, it leads me to believe that in time they might revisit this whole,
oh man, my whole heart is on hoping in that.
I'm telling you, they might revisit it kind of like what they tried to do with the Virtual Boy, and then it came to fruition in the 3DS, how to handle 3D.
Yeah.
So that might come in time, But the thing is, for now, I can see them doing AR, augmented reality instead of, virtual for now. But there's a possibility for them to handle it since the tablet is so small on the Switch.
If you think about it, there are so many games that have come out recently that just would have been perfect for. Like I just got through playing Last of Us. Like, oh my god, like that game. Half of that game is like playing what's the name again? Zombie U. Pretty much. Anytime you have to go do anything, like it literally shows him going in his backpack to pull stuff out. Like, and you can't pause the game while you do it either. You choose to do that in the middle of combat, and you whatever happens to you happens to you.
Well, Last of Us, but you have to understand that's impossible because Last of Us is a very innovative game that nobody's ever tried it before. And Last of Us came out after that game, so
Uncharted.
I'm just pointing.
That game, I just see a lot in a lot of those games. I see where that could have been a great thing to have, and just like Grand Theft Auto 5. Like I was talking to my son earlier today. Like, why is there not a map? Why is there not the cell phone app and the web browser and all that stuff could have been on the gamepad for that platform?
That would have been sick. But the mistake was the lazy developers needed extra, actual physical RAM aside from, using eDRAM and whatnot. That's what it is. We had to deal with the laziness of the developers, so they did not want to code that way, and that's what happened.
And with all the extra power, and they made it quote unquote HD, the frame rate is still ass. So it goes anywhere from 60 to like 20. Like really, it just depends on where you are in the game. And I'm like, that's just open world jank. That's what happens in all those open world games. They haven't been tuned to be, smooth. So the last game I saw to be like close to being that smooth was what's the name of that game? The game that they came with the demo of Halo 3. I can't think of the name of it right now. The same saved my life.
Shoot.
I have to look.
I know what you're talking about.
Hold up a second. Insane Gamer. I hear you on the whole Royal Rumble thing. I'm not going to watch it right now. I'm going to watch it afterwards just to acknowledge you over there in the chat, all right?
I can't. Crackdown, that's the name of it. I had to look at the case.
Crackdown, yeah. I knew what you were talking about. I was trying so hard to remember the name.
Yeah, that was a good game. But
Crackdown's another game that could have benefited from a second screen type thing if they would have used Smart Glass with it, like planning out your missions and stuff on a tablet or something like that. They could have done all that stuff. Rainbow Six is another perfect example. Hell, even though this game I don't like it too much, Resident Evil 5 and 6.
All of those games could have used it. I mean, anything that had inventory, it would just seem better. Like you played Revelations.
Yep.
That kind of stuff works.
I mean, I would love to be able to reload my stuff while I'm walking and not have to stop every.
Exactly. Look at a map while you're walking.
I would like multiplayer to have live reactions, of the people over there using the tablet's camera, kind of like they did over there in Star Fox, I think it was on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But actually, instead of stills, actually show reactions. It'd be hot.
And I get it now. Like other so developers are trying to come up with clever ways to emulate it without using a second screen. So like in some games, what they'll do since they don't have a second screen, they'll overlay the map real quick, like big over the whole screen, kind of like what MMOs do.
You know what you guys just reminded me of? Sorry.
Go ahead.
You ever watch a show called Shameless? It's
Yeah.
a really messed up show where this dude's always trying to pull a fast one, right? But he does all these complicated schemes to do something so simple,
Mm-hmm.
and half the crap falls apart. When if they
Like
would have just been more direct, he'd have probably
like a
got
Rube
away with it in
Goldberg
the first
machine.
place. Exactly. So I'm like, these cats are trying to come up with all these complicated ways to make things easier. When in reality, if they would have just take the time and put in the work, they'd be just fine.
Yep.
Yeah. I just really, when I see some of the attempts, like I don't know who's played this game before it came out last year, well, year before actually. But so last year, Axiom Verge came out for Wii U. I don't see another way to play that game because obviously it exists for other platforms. But once you play that game and you can see the map and you can see your items and be able to move around at the same time with all that going on, it just does it. It's so liberating. Like you don't have to worry about flipping between screens and whatnot. The only time I have to worry about that is when I'm laying in the bed playing it.
It's because it streamlines
And
everything.
you guys just reminded me, Splatoon. Oh, I don't know how I
Yeah.
can play Splatoon any other way now.
You going to play it. You know you're going to.
Oh, I'm gonna get it because at
I
least this
mean-
has gyros still.
But my thing with Splatoon is this: I'm gonna miss having the dedicated but separate full screen display. But them giving us the screen overlay, I can accept that. I really can.
You know what it kind of reminds me of the map in Nox. You guys ever played Nox? Any of you?
No. I haven't.
Oh God, you
Uh,
missed a good game.
I'm just gonna miss having second screen experiences on other games. Like to me, for example, one of the best uses of it was Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Yes, it was.
That's
Love
a game I
that
gotta
game.
get.
Like that's a game that you use
That
second
game
screen
did
so
not
well. You
do
can't
well.
you can't even do game capture on it because when you start controlling the drone, the drone's camera is on the Wii U gamepad screen alone, so you can't even
Dr.
game capture
Feelgood,
that. You
tell
can't.
your teammates stop coming after me. I keep wrecking them.
I'm not even playing right now, man.
Oh, you actually dropped out the last match?
Yeah, I had
Oh,
to change my weapon.
that explains why this was so easy.
Yeah, for those that aren't understanding, there's some Splatoon mayhem going on
Yeah. In the back.
currently. So
My bad.
hopefully we can transform it into Smash Bros at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's
I'm
another
with
thing.
that.
Here's another thing that developers supposedly couldn't wrap their heads around, and that was asymmetrical gameplay.
Yeah, that was the other thing too.
Well, the most basic usage of it was an RPG. Do like they
No.
do in Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Put your map and your inventory on the screen.
Easiest pie.
That and also the ability to have two different types of gameplay going on at the same time.
Oh,
Or it
hold
could
on
be
a
the
second.
same. Look at Black Ops 2. Black
on
Ops
a
2,
second.
you can play with two separate
Not even
controllers, or
that.
one person has the gamepad and they have a completely separate viewpoint and they don't take up the whole part of the TV.
Okay,
Yep.
hold on.
But not even that. Just give us mini games. I mean,
Hold
shit.
on. Hey, hold on. Feel good's all excited now. Calm down a second. Okay. What about saying like Nino Kuni, the game I was playing for my wife on the PS3? Originally, it was a DS title, right?
Yeah.
You could draw out your spells on the bottom screen. They could have done that incarnation, but with the graphics of the PS3 or above for the Wii U.
I mean, if they just use bare bones support of the Wii U gamepad, I would have been perfectly fine with all the online titles. Just have that separate viewport. So if I'm playing with another person, that person can take the gamepad, or I can take the gamepad, and I'm playing online on the gamepad, and he's playing online on the TV with the Wii U Pro Controller. And that way we don't have to deal with the whole, we got split screen playing online and we squinting looking at the screen or whatever.
Yep.
I still have my full screen. He still has his full screen.
You know, the thing
That
is,
would have been perfect.
People might question the relevance of this conversation right now because we're going on to the Switch. Thing is, we're going to have a whole new setup with HD Rumble and the full 9, the experience of taking the games on the go and so on and so forth. If developers do not take the chance to implement what's unique on the Switch, right, then it's their fault that things don't fly well with it. No different than with the Wii U.
Exactly.
No, because the excuse would be Nintendo, once again, is trying to come up with all these esoteric stuff
Oh,
that
hold on,
nobody cares about.
wait. Hold on. There is no excuse this time.
Well, they don't got the second screen to deal with.
Hold on. Third-party developers were on from the beginning. They talked to Nintendo about what they wanted, and Nintendo gave it to them. It's easy to develop for. You can easily port from the PS4.
They fixed the storage issue.
Fix the storage issues. I don't give a crap what excuses they come up with now. And EA on top of that put themselves in the worst position, saying, "Hey, Nintendo said from the beginning this is what they're doing, and we agreed to this." But then you're gonna come around and say, "Well, we're only gonna put out FIFA on this and see how well that does."
Speaking as a typical American,
Let me
do
tell
you
you
not
something.
understand how big FIFA is? Oh my god.
I'm debating now on whether to get Andromeda PC or wait until the Switch version comes out, because if they could pull off Skyrim, the enhanced edition, there should be no excuse why they can't pull off Mass Effect.
I feel if they do that though, they need to implement touchscreen.
Yes, they do. Yes, they
Most
do.
definitely, especially for handling your squad and changing their biotics, etc. on the fly.
Yep.
Looking at the
I think
map.
it would cool. I think it would be cool if they implemented touchscreen, and also when you dock the system or whatever, you would use the touch or whatever and the HD
sensor.
Rumble or whatever to be able to
Yep.
select stuff.
Yep.
That would make me very happy. But that would also
by the
mean
way,
that
let the
EA
rifles
cares.
have kick. Let the rifle has kick also. Let the rifles have some type of kick.
Yep.
Oh yes.
I've
Oh,
yet
my
to play a
goodness,
game
that'd be
where I felt
beautiful.
that on the Xbox One controller though. I know it's there, but I haven't played a game that actually took advantage of it. Because I know Forza does, but is there a shooting game that does? It takes advantage of those triggers.
I have really no clue.
I haven't felt it. I tried it in Super Hot. I didn't feel it in Super Hot, so I don't. And Gears, I don't think Gears uses it either.
The one thing I want the Xbox to sit up here and leverage the control of the actual peripherals instead of sitting up here and leaving them as novelties by the wayside, like in the case of I keep forgetting the name of that sucker, the camera.
Real quick, is this me or Doc? Do you have your volume up on your TV?
I don't know. I think it's Doc.
It's Doc.
Okay.
Is somebody watching something exciting?
He haven't. No, it's Splatoon.
No, it's Splatoon.
It's exciting.
Well, yeah.
Oh
This is
man.
a really
Talking
crazy
about,
match. Damn it! Got me last second.
I need Lil Quay to stop being so damn brave.
What?
I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there because we've kind of talked roundabout. But what do you guys think? Because we haven't really talked about it. Because we haven't had a podcast since. How do you guys feel about Nintendo Switch? Nintendo is constantly updating their website with new information on it and redesigning the page.
I'll keep it simple. It's fucking perfect.
I ain't gonna say it's perfect, but I'm good with it no matter what. I'm good.
Everybody's pretty much pre-ordered it, right?
No, I haven't yet.
I'm on the list.
I will soon. I'm on the pre-order. I'm on the notification for Amazon, but I don't have a pre-order yet.
Because you literally had to catch it that night.
Yo,
Yeah,
I got the 5 amiibos for Breath of the Wild, and I got Breath of the Wild on pre-order though. That's a lot.
Okay. Yeah,
I got two.
That would be good too.
Well,
I got two or three. I got at least two on pre-order.
Yo, and check this out though, and I got all 10 amiibos for it prior. The 10 prior amiibos that came out for Zelda. So I'm ready.
Hey, you good to go.
That's what I'm saying.
So Nintendo Switch, and this is going to be for anybody that watches this later. For whatever reason, there may be some people in some other communities that still follow us that may not know as much about it. But Nintendo essentially took a tablet form factor and turned it into a game console. They've abandoned disc format for use of game cards. And this is a system that you can dock and undock and take with you on the go at all times. So you can take a console level game from the TV and take it with you, not just to the bathroom like you could with the Wii U, but outside of the house on a road trip or whatever, with a battery time from anywhere to 2.5 to 6 hours. Also, it's got USB 3 to charge, so you could have a car charger, you could have a backpack charger, a battery charger for limitless battery per se or whatever.
No, Shadow, to be clear, let these people know that this is not the replacement to the 3DS. This is the replacement to the Wii U.
Clearly,
It's a hybrid.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid console.
Now
People are like, what about the 3DS?
we've heard Nintendo say this before, but when something gets hot, and since Nintendo has clearly decided to unify both their handheld and their home
Oh, it's
console
inevitable.
studios, it's inevitable that they're basically going to be working on everything all at the same time for one platform going forward.
Yeah, it seems
Now,
like
I
they
just
just
don't
flatten it all over eventually.
whether the Nintendo Switch that we use right now is eventually going to be more of the portable that they're talking about, and then they have another piece of hardware that comes out after that that's more of a home console. That remains to be seen. But right now, it looks like Nintendo is clearly focused on they want to make sure every game that they bring out is coming for one device. And you'll be able to interact with it across multiple platforms, but it'll be more like you can see your friends online when you log on to a browser or on your phone, or maybe even 3DS if they tie it into it with my Nintendo account. We'll have to see. But that's kind of what they want to do, is have like this kind of universal thing. It's more akin to, I want to say it's a mixture of both what Xbox Live and PlayStation Network is doing. I don't know if any of you guys have the Xbox Live app or the PlayStation Network app, but they have both. The PlayStation has a chat app and a PlayStation Network app, so you can see everything that's going on your phone kind of at one time or whatever, and remotely control your PS4 or whatever. They're kind of reaching into that, but also going to the granular level on the Xbox Live side of things, where you could probably see gameplay from people and other types of things, and comment and rate your achievements and stuff like that. So I think that may be what they're going for with the new app that's going forward. A lot of people, and this is a huge misconception because even the press doesn't know how to report and ask simple questions, but a lot of people were thinking that the app that they were coming out with was the only way that you'd be able to do voice chat. Obviously, Nintendo shut everybody up by just updating their website, and that just pretty much solved the problem.
Yeah, that's the bad thing.
Good.
Like,
I say thank goodness for that, because I got a Windows phone and I'd be ass out when it comes to an app.
Yeah, you
You know
definitely
what?
get that out.
And this is something. I mean, I hate to even mention this and give this person any type of, attention. But even your boy Lozy Artist was claiming that the only way that Nintendo confirmed, Reggie confirmed that the only way to use voice chat is through the app. I say he mentioned that's one way you can use
And I
it.
asked,
No one ever said it's the only way.
Is it normal? I guess it has to be normal because in the video game community, people be making assumptions left and right.
oh yeah, I have 4 open conversations right now, and I think they're not going to reply anymore of them arguing back and forth, where they say that they know for sure that that was the only way to do voice chat. And I'm like,
I mean,
did you listen to the same
literally-
conversation that I listened to? And did you look at the questions that IGN posed to them? They said, asked when asked about the app being the only way to do voice chat. And I'm like, did you really ask them that? Or are you listening to the same conversation that he gave to the press at large at one time? And I started reading more and more, and I'm like, they didn't even ask the right damn question. So, and they're supposed to be the gaming journalists. There's other people. There were bloggers out there. There's YouTube personalities that got more information. Like there's an interview with Reggie did an interview with some YouTuber. I can't think of his name or whatever, where they did the whole Switch
Pro
Roverse
Jared?
or whatever.
Pro Jared?
Yeah,
OJ.
and so even in that video, he clearly stated this is to help facilitate you join lobbies and create matches and do voice chat and stuff like that. At no point did he say that was the only way. He just said that headsets and stuff like that is bulky on the road. So why would you want to use that if you already got your phone with you? Everybody takes their phone with them.
Another thing that needs to be cleared up because people still haven't paid attention. On Nintendo of America, they said this is a sample of the launch window. They didn't say this is the only thing in the launch window. This is a sampling of the games.
No,
And then they started announcing
not
games
all
after
the
that.
games.
like that's the
People are
problem
like,
with
there's
people.
no games. I'm like,
That is literally the problem with people. It was like every console, you do not get the full launch lineup of games the first day they announce something. You
not
never
only
do.
that, we need to pass out more dictionaries and thesauruses to gamers because clearly people don't understand the words they're reading.
I mean, they complained about there being USB 2.0 ports on the dock. And I'm like, but it's USB 3.1 going in. So literally that's a firmware change. I don't even think that should be a problem.
People complain about friend codes. Do you know that? People complain about friend codes.
Still complaining about friend codes.
Oh, the no was putting that out. I'm like, you're reading that script like pretty hard. Maybe you should think before you speak what's on the script. Like, just say, "Oh, I'm not going to say that on this take. I'm not. Look at this. That's not right."
Here's something I know y'all will find unbelievably funny. My Nintendo News reported that it takes 10 seconds to boot up Breath of the Wild on the Switch. And that was slow because smartphone apps boot faster.
They should report how long it takes to load Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation 4.
Well, my first thought is how long does it take to install a game on the PS4 or the Xbox One? I mean, I could go make a whole meal and eat it before the game is fully on the console.
Even if they have it on the hard drive, the load times are still longer than 10 seconds.
They're atrocious.
Okay, we need to make a song. I'm gonna see if I can get Micah to work with me. We need to make a moving the goalpost song.
Man, I'm sorry that, and I hate to promote him like that, but he dude was on point. The Dr. Dre's video with the moving goalpost with that certain
Dude, that
stage,
was funny.
That was classic funny. With the moving goalpost, Luigi chasing it. That was perfect.
Moving goalpost.
That was so perfect. For those that didn't know that,
but it doesn't have the moving goalpost.
and that is a problem. So when somebody that wants to, in this case, it just seems to constantly be about people that hate on Nintendo for whatever reason. They come out with this, and there's nothing but good things to say about this. They try to find what the negatives are. IGN tried to do it twice. Ex-IGN people tried to do it multiple times. And when all the information comes out, they're silent. They have nothing to say. They're not going to eat crow. They're not going to say I'm wrong. I will say right now on air that I was wrong about this system having Bluetooth 5.0 instead of 4.1 because they have the same frequency range. I didn't think that I thought they were just going to go with 5.0.
I thought the same thing. Yeah, I was wrong with that too.
Okay, I'll admit it. I was wrong. I thought that the Nintendo Switch would only come in one color scheme. Clearly, there's more than one. I just want to put that out there.
That doesn't count. That's the controller.
No, that's something I want to point out too. I, on one video from my channel, got more things right about what this console is and can do than people who have industry contacts. Isn't there a problem with that?
Let's be honest. The Nintendo Switch is based off of everything that Nintendo has done up to this date. So if you really thought about it seriously and honestly, any gamer who's been playing long enough will at least get 50% of the console correct.
They were the first console with 5 gigahertz wireless. They're keeping that same Broadcom chip in there. In both the dock doesn't need it, obviously. So the console has it. Also what else am I thinking about? The memory itself, the same 32 that was in the Wii U. I would not be surprised if it's the exact same part number and they just continue to order because it's cheaper. Why not? And if you could solder that onto the board, that makes the entire board way cheaper than using the 1 gig or whatever that the original Tegra came with, which is another thing we could talk about. But people swear that specs came out for this thing. They haven't. And they
not fully, no.
They continue to say that it is custom. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why people are so adamant about it, but nah, you're not going to find out. It'll be NDA'd, and by the time you do find out, it doesn't even matter really. So
it doesn't matter.
NES Punk's video, Pat NES Punk, when he talked about the Switch not being expensive, he got a whole lot of hate in his comment section.
It really isn't. And well, here's the thing. So how many caveats and how many things are we going to ignore when we say that it's expensive? Because
look at what it comes packed with. Let's be logical about this.
I listened to Ken's podcast, right? And the Losey artist was on there. He had his complaints. Every single one of his complaints are not only addressed, there are also issues on other platforms.
Yes, they are.
You talk about the battery life for the gamepad or whatever. I'm like, that's an entire console that you take with you. You can't even take a PS4 with you.
Hold on, PS4 control only lasts.
Also, keep in mind, now that they're using the current technology for charging, there's plenty of portable chargers you can get and use in tandem with this.
So the entire Nintendo Switch can last 1 hour longer potentially than the PlayStation 4
And the
controller
PlayStation
can,
4
and there's no
controller.
screen, no nothing, no nothing in there. The touch in there is
I
very
even put out
limited.
there- I even put out
How
there in
how
two separate
dare you
videos. I
talk
said,
about my
look,
port station 4?
like no one can really bitch because even Nintendo fans, the few that are bitching, I'm like, dude, if you got 3DS,
3DS,
the new
you can't
3DS is
complain.
3 to 6 hours, and
I-
you have that same battery life in a full home console on the go.
Can
You can't
can
bitch.
you mentioned that he primarily gamed on PC, which we all know, right? How can
Yeah.
you that primarily games on PC, which means you do an incremental upgrade of your graphics subsystem probably once every 3 to 4 years, and that's at least $200. It if you're doing that every 2 to 3 years or whatever, 2, 3, maybe 4 years or whatever, why is a $80 pair of controllers? Why is that expensive to you? I don't get that, especially if the battery lasts, I don't know,
20
four
hours.
times longer than the PlayStation 4 controller, and
Also
you
keep
get
in
two
mind,
controllers, not one, for
you
$30 more.
not only
I'm sorry,
that,
$20 more.
it comes with the system. So technically, it's not an issue unless you want additional extra controllers. Because that's the thing. Let's be real.
It comes with two.
Are you, are you gonna get 4 controllers for your Switch? No. You're gonna just pass over your extra Switch and say, "Here, dude, grab this. Let's go."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's likely. I mean, depending on the game, yeah, that's all you really want to do is just hand over the other Joy-Con.
Unless you like me, I got like 5 controllers because I caught like two of the Pro controllers on sale or something. But
No, I'm the same way. I ain't go front. I got like 6. I got 6 Wii Plus controllers and a bunch of other stuff. So
I'm kind of hoping at some point they announce backwards compatibility with that stuff. I know they don't. I know they want to be clean cut and kind of say, look, okay, this is clearly a new system, but like at some point after you get your initial success because the buzz is good and everything else, like a year later, say, we're turning this on now. That would be good, I
yeah,
think.
they have the
But
technology. They just got to put in a patch and boom, you're good.
yep.
That would be nice.
So battery life was supposedly an issue, even though it's 20 hours. I don't see what the complaint is there. There's a separate charging dock that you have to pay for that you don't really need
don't really need
because
it,
every
no.
time you stick it into the
Every time you
console,
hook
it's
into the
charging,
console, it charges it.
whether you have it on or off the dock. Apparently it sucks battery from the main console to charge the controllers too. So they have a full
Yep.
charge no matter what you do, unless you take them completely off and play in console mode. So also, Nintendo explained this pretty well during their live stream. You don't have to worry about syncing them like you have to do with other platforms. All you have to do is connect them to that dock and they sync. So
Put them on for 2 seconds and pull them right back off.
yep, which is awesome. The memory issue I don't understand because we all own Wii U, I guess, at some point, and we all know that memory was not an issue at all when
No,
it
it
came to
wasn't.
that. And did anybody own the 8 gig model?
My wife
didn't.
has one.
Okay, your wife has the 8 gig model.
Yeah.
And did you even do any external storage on that at all?
Yeah,
You did, so you just hooked up a hard drive and kept it moving, or a thumb drive or something.
pretty much.
Okay, so yeah, it's not even, and the Wii U is so blind. Like the USB, the HID chain for that system, like if you plug USB up, it doesn't care what it is. So I could literally hook up. Currently, right now, I have a USB 2.0 hub hooked up with its own power supply. I have the GameCube to USB adapter on there. I have two hard drives connected as well, and there's another USB port that I've already tested will work with the third. It would just read whatever. So while you can only map 2 at a time, if I decided to say, I don't know, have a RAID chamber via USB, you're talking about anywhere up to 6 terabytes or more, and it's just like I just see more space. So unless Nintendo locks it down at the OS level, which they didn't on Wii U, you can have potentially an infinite amount of storage on this platform. I don't see why you wouldn't. And they haven't locked the USB ports, to my knowledge, as far as the dock goes. So I don't think that's going to be an issue either. And people, I don't think people understand that they want to choose and decide when they want this to be a home console, when they want it to be a portable. They want to say that it's a home console, so it needs to compete with Sony and Microsoft. But then when you talk about storage, all of a sudden, well, I just want to take everything with me, so I don't care that I can plug an external hard drive to the dock. You pick, yeah, exactly. The goalpost is moving. It continues to move.
One more thing, Shadow Fox. One thing that I'm concerned about is this: how they're going to handle game saves. Will they save specifically to the system only, or will they migrate on over to the external medium? See, because if they keep it only solely to the device itself, it'll make things a lot easier to keep it on the go and not worry about your game saves. See what I'm saying?
I think
I believe it's going to be locked down like Wii U was. I think it's going to be whatever that 32 gigs is on the system. But then you can move them. You can move them as long as you format that drive, and then you can move them over that way.
Yeah.
So like I've been able to move entire saves over to my hard drive. I heard somebody say that you couldn't do that, and I'm like, I got saves on mine. I don't know what problem y'all were having. I copied everything from the internal storage over to mine. I copied saves from Wii over to that hard drive, and it worked just fine. So I didn't have. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with regards to that. So maybe they're thinking about something else. I haven't had any issue. I know you can't put saves on an SD card. I know that much because that's an obvious security flaw. So why would they do that? But no, I haven't had any issues with that. I would imagine that you'd be able to expand that space, but it'll make you have to copy it or something. It's not just going to say you now have 232 gigs of space. That's going to be the same. I think whatever that internal memory is going to be MEM3 or whatever known internally to the OS, and you'll have to copy over to whatever's on the card to be able to boot from the card.
I mean, well, even still, the thing has micro SD, so that whole problem could be negated.
Yeah,
you got micro SD. You get yourself a big enough micro SD, put it in there. You should be good to go.
Yeah, it's just different complaints. The storage issue is not an issue.
My biggest issue with people complaining about storage is like the physical medium for this will run almost exactly the same as having it installed.
Yep.
So
you won't have to install it.
Why is it an issue when you can get the physical medium and it's going to run the exact same way?
Yep, it's not like the other platforms where you're forced to install. It's basically a Wii U all over again. It can run right off the media that you buy from the store. You don't have to install it. And maybe that's what's confusing people. They're so used to what happened toward the end of last generation, the end of 7th generation, close to the 8th. They think that the same thing happens on all 3 platforms, and you can't be a PS4 only owner and start making those arguments if you've never even touched the system that you're complaining about. Like, why even make a complaint? That's like me. I think the last time that I played like Asheron's Call, I think was maybe 15 years ago. I can't go on the Asheron's Call forum and start complaining about how bad the game is now. I don't even know what they've done with the private servers, if they still exist. That kind of stuff. Like, who does that?
It reminds me of the person you take out for sushi and never tried it before, and they didn't even sit up here and lift a chopstick to their mouth, and they're already complaining.
Yep. And then you have the quote unquote fakers. People that the fakers are people that do own Wii U. They own Wii U. They know the things that we know, but they pretend they don't exist.
Yep.
They'll sit there and be like, "Oh, I can't do this. I can't even chat with my friends online. Blah blah blah. I have no way to talk to anybody." I'm like, man, there's a video chat on there that almost nobody uses, but it's there. I mean, and there's an entire browser on there too. I'm pretty sure there's a way to communicate with somebody via Miiverse or what have you, where you can let somebody know that you're online, or they'll know that you're online. Like, there's no way to say they're not there.
Well, Miiverse doesn't exist anymore. Just let's be clear.
Going forward, it won't. No, I don't think.
That's a shame.
I think they have an equivalent though, something more simplified.
I think that's just being rolled into that smartphone app and
Yeah.
Yeah,
along
that's
with
what I'm saying. There's going to be
everything
some
else.
type of equivalent. So
They'll probably just change what the name of it is or whatever, and move all the web resources there. More than
I
likely, is what
hope
it
that's
seems
what
like.
they do, because just the idea of just removing it completely to me is stupid.
I
Yeah.
actually like Miiverse. I don't use it a lot, but it comes in handy every now and again.
But like I can see where if they with the smartphone app you can do all the same stuff that you'd be able to do with the Wii U gamepad, and also if you have the Switch in touch mode, like have it off the dock, you could do
Well,
the exact same stuff. So
I think they kind of saw the writing on the wall too, though, because they're like, well, we can't compete with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and people are using Miiverse to post to those anyway. So why are we being the middleman? Kind of, I guess it's more of what they're saying. But I kind of liked Miiverse because everybody I talked to wasn't a raving fanboy that hasn't played the game. You could tell whether they played the game or not. There's a little checkbox right next to their name or the
that's
community or whatever, and you know.
that's
So
that's one of the positives about it, because you knew somebody knew what the hell they were talking about when they said something.
exactly. And that was one of the things I kind of liked about it. But given that you could also you could designate that a different way on other platforms, so the way that they could do this now is that home screen could say, hey, I want to talk about this game now. It would automatically populate all the metadata that you need for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever, and it will populate that to your social media and say, hey, post it from this game by us or whatever, and then people would know that you played the game and y'all could talk back and forth. And you'll be able to know where other people had too. Maybe they have like a verified or whatever next to their account name, so you know that they've played the platform in question. So I don't think that would be an issue. But that going forward, I think everything that they're doing, or everything they plan to do, we don't have enough information, which is one thing. I don't know where these complaints come from. Like talking about well, the online is going to cost, and I'm like, well, we don't
How
know
do
how
you
much
know
it's
that?
going to cost. It could be 99 cents. You have no idea how much it costs. We just
Like
know that Reggie said it would be pay at a later date.
it's free until fall. Like at the
Yeah,
very least, when you get it, when you first get
You
it,
can see
it's
for
free.
first
yourself.
few months, it's free.
So
Because they're going to be testing stuff out. They're going to see what works and what doesn't, and fill in the blanks from there.
it could be in
No,
the fall
see,
they decide to keep it free. Who
see,
knows?
you're sounding very reasonable. What's your problem?
I
Hey,
think logically that's my problem.
See,
uh,
see, you
it,
just admitted it.
and
You're
Wow,
not a real
that's the
patriot.
problem
I
now.
mean,
That's the
gamer.
problem.
Apparently,
with this platform, it's $300, right? Apparently, that's expensive, but the
no, hold
Xbox
on,
One that I
wait,
bought was
wait.
$500 at launch.
Well, wait,
I,
wait,
I've
wait.
got,
I'm
I've
with
got,
$1776.
Controller.
I've got some comparisons that have been thrown at me for you guys.
Okay.
The Smock Z tablet, the gaming tablet that's going to be basically a portable Steam machine. That
Uh-huh.
is $329 for the 32 gigabyte model, and you can
Okay.
play all your Steam games on the go. When the performance of the Steam games on there are between 40 and 50 frames per second, and most of the games are running at 720p or lower
Okay.
from
So
their own benchmarks.
that sounds great and all, but when is that version of Breath of the Wild gonna be on it?
It ain't. But no, like
I'm
this, I was pointing this out because someone had brought that to me. They brought it up to me on my channel, on my video about the Wii U, not the Wii U, the Switch not being. Chill out. They brought that to me on my channel about the Switch. I was like, the Switch in and of itself, if you pay attention to all the stuff that you're getting, it's not expensive. Like
now.
they pointed this tablet out to me, like this little game console thing out to me. And I went and looked it up. I was like, okay, if I want to use a D-pad, I have to pay for a D-pad to be put on it because it doesn't come with one on it. It comes
Oh.
with the haptic feedback things on it, and one
Mm-hmm.
analog stick. So I literally, if I want to play a fighting game, I have to buy the D-pad.
Mm,
So, like, how is that any different from having to buy a pro controller for the Switch?
exactly. Now I don't know about you, Andre, but I know myself and Kwame Chu over here. We already have something that can play Steam games, and they run them pretty well.
It's
So
called
why
PT.
do I need this again?
Mhm.
Why would I want
Because
something?
What
real
gets me is
gamers.
that people keep forgetting that this console, no matter what specs it has, no matter if you feel if it's overpriced or not. Let's say the damn thing was overpriced. Let's say it was $500. All right. There's one thing that this console has that nobody else has and will ever have: Nintendo games.
Exactly.
If you want to play their games, you have to buy their console. If I want a Whopper, I gotta go to Burger King. I can't go to McDonald's
See,
asking them.
that's tyranny. That's tyranny right there. That's not fair. I should be able
Like,
to play it on any computer
like,
or
no, but see,
PlayStation 4
I've said
or
this
Xbox.
before in a podcast, and I forget the guy's name. I think it was actually Base Video about like a year or so ago. Everyone keeps saying that, oh, when Nintendo support their games over the other consoles and stop forces about their console. All right, then.
They're
I
not
don't
going to
hear.
be as good.
I don't hear Nintendo fans say, "Hey, man, give us Last of Us."
Yep.
I think it's only fair. Like, no, like if you want a Big Mac, you know you have to go. You can bitch all to hell if you want to, but if you want to play Breath of the Wild, you want to play
Hold
Splatoon, you want
on.
to play any Nintendo IPs, including the second party ones like Bayonetta 2, guess what you have to do? You have to bite that bullet and pay that price.
Well, let,
Unless you want to wait 5 or 6 years like you have to do for Lego City Undercover.
let's go ahead and give them that. Let them have that. Let's act like them. Okay. All right. Sony is obviously the person that's hurting the most. They're making the least amount of money. They're the closest to being bankrupt as a corporation. Why don't they just give up and go third party and port their stuff to Nintendo platforms? That would be great. The PlayStation 4 is selling well.
How much do they
There's-
have to give away?
The PlayStation
Well-
4. I mean, like maybe like 5 franchises. But yeah,
I'm gonna say, what
but they got
franchise do they
50
have
million
for
users
PS4?
out
God of
there.
War. Hold on. We got God of War, Forza. I'm not Forza. We got God of War. I
So
want
that's
Guardian
my
of the
Gran
first
Galaxy.
Turismo is what he means. But
I want
yeah.
Gran Turismo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'll take Ratchet and Clank. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bring that on over.
I'll take that.
Yeah, bring that shit over. Oh, but that's not okay. But I'm sorry, these games didn't sell well anyway. Did
Yeah.
they?
Nah. What sold well? Uncharted 4 did because they had the bundle.
Yeah,
But
because before the bundle, it only sold like 3.4 million,
yeah,
and
which
that's their number one IP.
yeah, I don't get that. Meanwhile, the Wii U is literally sold 1 to 2. It was literally like 50% install base for Mario Kart and Nintendo Land, and I think also New Super Mario Bros. U. I think as well.
I actually think Mario Kart 8 is over 50%.
Yeah,
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 Mario
it's-
Kart is over 50%.
So you
so
have
it's like
that.
what 7 million now, maybe.
It's a little bit over 8 last I checked, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. That is this generation's 8th generation's version of Smash Brothers.
No, because I remember I actually did the math on that. If we were to think that percentages stayed the same from the Wii to the Wii U, Mario Kart 8 should not have sold over 4.5 million. It should
Yeah,
have stayed the same.
because the Wii was it was only it was 100 million or whatever, and they sold like 45. How much did Mario Kart Wii sell? Like 45.
It was thinking somewhere between 35 and 40.
Yeah, so it wasn't even not even 50%, which it's still a lot. 50% is a lot, but yeah, for a quote unquote failing console that doesn't get the word out and nobody knows that it's a platform for some reason, which is another thing. I think that's a load of crap too. I think people didn't want to know what it was more than anything else because the communication was there from the time it launched. So I don't know.
Because Nintendo's been labeled by Kitty. I can tell you plenty of my friends that game on other consoles. They didn't even bother to check. They were just like, oh, Nintendo, another console, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the few of them that actually played my system, they loved it and bought their own Wii U. That's not exaggerated. My boy is a strictly Sony gamer. He came by, played my Wii U. It was about a year and a half ago. He has a Wii U. Actually, I think he has 2 Wii Us. I have to double check that. I don't even have 2 Wii Us.
Yeah.
So
2 would have been awesome for me.
Yeah, I got 2 in the house. My wife has one and I have one.
You don't count.
So you got a 32 and an 8?
You're the sergeant general of the gamers at large.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have 4 of every console, so.
He's mega gaming. He's mega gaming over there. But yeah, I just these quote unquote complaints seem to be coming out of thin air. Like they were really, really reaching for this whole audio jack situation. And then when it shot them in the face and nobody said anything, they're like, let me complain about something else. Let me find the launch lineup. And I'm like, are these the same people that bought an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4 at launch?
Like, a lot of them are.
Where you're talking about a downloadable title as the best launch game for the PlayStation 4? Are you fucking serious? Excuse my French, but are you serious? Like, how do you as a person that only bought Resogun when the PlayStation 4 came out, then go and say that Nintendo's 8 games or so that they have for their launch lineup is quote unquote lackluster or not notable? I'm sorry, who was writing off the wall about Resogun? Who? I'm sorry, I didn't see too many big budget commercials about that game. Who did? I mean,
Nobody.
Granted, yes, I bought it too at launch. Yes, I played it, but that wasn't a quote unquote notable title. The press made it into one.
Well, sir, you do have knack.
Oh, you mean the Mario Killer?
Well, it must have done good because it got a sequel. It got a sequel, so we can't really knock it that much.
I'm not gonna knock it. I'm not gonna knock it, but I'm like, if you jump out and say your game is going to be the Mario Killer, you better come with something amazing.
Kind of like Dark Cloud being the Zelda killer.
That thing, like I said, looked more like a Crash Bandicoot killer, not a Mario.
You had so officially Sony has had 3 killers that killed nothing. They've had the Mario killer in Knack, they've had the Zelda killer in Dark Cloud, and they've had the Halo killer in Killzone.
And their marketing is horrible. So this is what I don't understand, right? The game that they should have been pimping that utilized at least what visible horsepower we could tell between the PS3 and the PS4, that was clearly Infamous Second Son. And they didn't. Did anybody even see a commercial for that game?
I didn't. I don't want to see what I own the game, by the way. I own the game.
That was a really good game, and it was hardly. I don't think it was advertised at all.
No, it wasn't. I think I saw one commercial where it was part of a cluster of games they showed, but you only saw it for like 2 seconds.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. But these same people that bought this system and just played around with the menu and downloaded games that they played on the PS3, they did that for a year. Then when games finally started coming out, they wanted to talk about the Wii U's lineup, which had 30 plus games, and then say, "Oh, it had a bunch of ports." What were you playing for the last year from 2013 until that year later? Ports. And then you want to complain now about what's happening on it. Lord forbid any PC owner mention anything about ports talking about Wii U. You can't. There's no. And now it's becoming more common where developers are making games for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC at the same time, kinda. But even then, you're having issues where the PC version is either missing features or is delayed or something happens where it's still kind of an afterthought to the consoles. Unless it's a PC first game, I would say most of the time that's usually a game like The Witcher. Sometimes depending on when Bethesda does what they want to do right, usually it's a Bethesda game that ends up ultimately being a better version on the PC, and it usually has a little bit better response time as far as release and having all the updates that it needs and being a full playable game. The other games, Call of Duty and stuff by the time they get on PC and they're on Steam or whatever, console gamers have already been playing it for 3, 4, 5 weeks or whatever, and like that's a port. That means your version is a port. It was not the lead platform. It clearly wasn't. So how can you, as a quote unquote PC gamer, the master race, you're not even getting masters made for your platform? For the most part, if it isn't an original game on Steam or MMO, you're getting a port.
But they're going to still complain and give them credit where credit's due. They're master debaters.
I heard how quickly you said that.
Oh my god! And you, Quan, you play PC primarily for the most part, right?
Yeah, I play PC primarily, no lie. Unless a Zelda game comes out, a Metroid or a Mario that I like, most of the time I focus on that. But the thing is, like I said, if I'm going to play consoles, I need unique experiences. Like I'm telling you right now, PS4, Ni no Kuni, hurry up and come out Ni no Kuni 2.
Let's say, look, I don't want a watered down PC for a console. I want a console for a console and PC for
Exactly.
PC. Like, what's
Exactly.
the point of having everything be the same? Why can't we have something be different?
It just seems to me like the
You sound
press,
like an
the press is
unpatriotic bastard.
the press has been brainwashed, and now they're continuing to brainwash the gamers into everybody now is perfectly conditioned to what the developers want to do. I'm sorry, not even the developers, the publishers,
No,
what the
no,
publishers want to do.
publishers. I'm gonna say yeah, because the developers
We
don't
want to
get that
port.
shit.
We want to make one game, and we want to copy and paste it here, 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 and here. Fuck the old days of where we actually had to code for hardware.
Oh
You
dang it!
know,
I gotta
which
beat feet soon.
when they had to do that, they actually found glitches and could fix them.
Yeah.
That way, we don't get a game where the character's face falls off.
Mm.
Sorry, Unity. Sorry, Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah. So when we talk about the ports, that these are all things that happen everywhere. You can't talk about the controllers really. You're talking about two controllers being $80, where one controller is $60. I'm sorry, is anybody doing math here? $120 for two controllers on a competing platform right now. That's an MSRP versus $80 for two controllers for this platform.
They don't care.
The Pro controller for the Switch is $70.
But it does like 20 things more than the other controllers.
Exactly. The Elite controller for the Xbox One, which has far less functionality, is $120 still? Is it still $120?
No, it's 120 to 150.
Yeah.
150 if you want to go get the battery pack.
Exactly. So 150 for a battery pack, which already comes in other controller that we're comparing it to. The battery life on this control on the Pro controller is 40 hours. The battery life on the PlayStation 4 is 5 hours. The DualShock, which
For
has far less
$60.
functionality for $60.
For 60, I'm sorry, the battery life ain't worth that $60.
Seems to me the $10 difference, and it's so funny because everybody wants to compare Nintendo consoles to Microsoft and Sony consoles, but not everywhere. So let's compare them prices for what you're getting. Compare them specs. You want to compare the specs of the Switch to the specs of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, right? So let's pair the specs of the controllers too to each other, so we know what the price difference is. Why don't you want to do that?
Because
if you want to talk about something's expensive,
that's
talk about what's in there.
If you did that, then you would be making a fair comparison, and people don't want to make fair comparisons because if they make fair comparisons, then what they're saying becomes mute.
Yep. I guess the big thing that I saw there was one of the good things that Microsoft has done. I haven't really seen it active on the PlayStation 4 because I haven't had more than 3 people on the PlayStation 4 at one time that I've seen. But you could visibly see all of the Nintendo accounts that are logged into the platform and manage them. And you also have parental controls from an app to manage individual accounts. So I was able to do that on my PC on the 360, but it was a little bit convoluted. I have a feeling that whatever this app is would be able to be a lot more functional.
Yeah, so, you can imagine the look on our kids' faces when they try to put in the wrong game on grandkids' faces.
Man, and you can set limits. You can set limits in hours. Like,
and you can cut it off from anywhere.
Shadow, you're starting to get that sound wave thing going.
Robots.
Well, I want to bring up something real quick, and I brought this in my video, but the people bitching about the internal memory. My whole thing was, you guys asked for options, so why now are you bitching because there are too many options?
That's the
why
weird
would you
thing.
Want to be forced? Like, why would you want to be forced to upgrade to a much more expensive SKU just to get more memory? Because with the PS3, you had a 20 gigabyte model and a 60 gigabyte model. And then with the PS4, it's not compatible with hard drives. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. According to Lowe's the Artist, it does take external hard drives, but they cannot be used to play games.
Then what's the point?
But yeah, exactly, that was my point. But thing is, why would you want to be forced to buy a more expensive SKU just to get more memory when you can buy memory at your own discretion?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Let's say you're like me, you play mostly physical games. You buy physical primarily, unless this is not available. Then you may not need 500 gigabytes. I may only need maybe another 64 gigs, maybe 128 gigabytes. But a person that likes to go all digital, say like Jay, he may need a 512 gigabyte micro SD card. He has that option, but he's not forced to buy either a 256 gig Nintendo Switch or 500 gigabytes of Nintendo Switch. He can choose to get the memory at his own pace, at his own discretion, and he can choose his own size. And thing is, that's a lot cheaper than proprietary hard drives built into a console.
I guess the other big thing is you can use multiple. So let's say you don't want to get the 256 or the 1 terabyte or whatever that's currently available right now for about $400 or $500. You could essentially get that if you get, several 128s. You just take them on the road with you, just like you take your games with you, and there's your digital library.
And I even mentioned that what person over the last 5 years doesn't have at least 5 to 10 micro SD cards from their cell phones laying about the house?
Yep, there's that too.
I got two 32 gigabytes, two 16 gigabytes, and two 8 gigabytes exactly that came with our smartphones. So it's kind of like, even if you are bitching about memory now, which you don't need that much memory at launch, but we all got at least a 16 gig card for a cell phone laying around the house.
Yeah, I got a 16 gigs in somewhere from my last Android phone. I have no idea where it is. It's somewhere.
A couple more minutes.
Hey, I have one thing I want to bring up since we were just talking about options. Why are people so mad about the options that the Joy Cons give you for play style?
I don't understand
Like
it either.
and I just did the video earlier this week. Was talking about having Ikaruga coming to the Switch. If it would be a good idea to put it on there. You've got the option for gyro control. You've got the options for analog. You've got the option to use the Pro controller. There's too many different options to be able to play the game.
So what we're talking about, these complaints that we're talking about, is a series of misconceptions by people, both the press and YouTubers alike, about different features of the Nintendo Switch, and people complaining about them. So they're complaining about things that haven't been verified yet. And over the past week or so, or the past 2 weeks or whatever, they've become closer to what they're supposed to be. More information has come out. So we already talked about the whole voice chat situation. People thought that was tied to an app. It's clearly not. We talked about the whole storage situation, and people were talking about external hard drives and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff has been cleared up for the most part. The UI has finally been touched on by Nintendo. What you kind of saw from some of the leaked images or whatever, that's what the final product is. They actually put this. I'm looking at the Nintendo Switch homepage right now that shows exactly those same icons. They show you the album where you're going to save screenshots and capture and move and share to social networks, Nintendo eShop, the news and announcements app, and the parental controls app. So all those things are built into the front screen. As soon as you sign in, you see your most recent games that you've played, and you see what Nintendo accounts are logged into the Switch currently at that point in time. So they're people for the most part, and we're all human, right? But I guess the issue is when you already have a negative stance that you want to take, you start looking for whatever ammunition you can get. And that seems to be the problem with some of these individuals. And everybody has been so skeptical of Nintendo over the years. It's really easy to do that without seeing that, number one, they've been working on this for, from what I understand, the better part of anywhere between 4 to 5 years. So this has been in the works probably as long as Wii U has been in the works. And they're not really a dumb company. They kind of know what they're doing, and they do a lot of internal testing. They do a lot of external testing. And if they're willing to bring all this out, they're doing it for a reason. And I don't, Nintendo constantly go back and forth between success and success with constraints. And say what you will about Wii U, everybody in the world is going to say it's a failure. That game console made money for Nintendo, if not for one reason, Amiibo. And with that being said, the consoles also sold at a profit per each one because people bought games, and that kind of bailed the console out at a point where they couldn't sell it at a lower price. Because I'm guessing that the manufacturing process never got cheaper for them, so they were starting to. They thought they were going to lose money on it, but they kept selling games, so that kind of bailed them out with that. Now they're bringing out another piece of hardware here for $300 instead of $250. For some reason, people thinking the $250 was a magic number, but they're bringing it out for $300 with 2 controllers bundled in, and other accessories as well. You get the Joy-Con grip and the Joy-Con strap as well, in addition to the dock. And the dock itself is supposedly $80 or $90. I think it's $90.
Is 90, yeah.
So
$90, and a lot of people are saying that that's overpriced, and part of me can agree, but then the other part is like, how do you know it's overpriced? You don't know what's in it. Right now, all we know is it plugs to the TV and it charges it, but we don't know anything else about the system outside of that. I think it has like a built-in fan in it or something. I'm not sure.
well, there's
Is that true?
an extra vent at the bottom,
There's
so
a vent for it, but,
the intake could go from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a passive air vent. But the whole point is that they're selling. I think at this point, this is where they make their money back because they're selling an experience. If you have literally a console that you can play on every TV of the house, you just pay for those additional docks or whatever. You don't have to buy 3-4 different consoles. You can essentially move it to where you can either move the dock or you can have multiple docks in the house at any point in time. And this is a console that you don't have to worry about bringing cables. You literally don't. You can just literally.
But you know
plug
what
it up.
though? Red Knight mentioned something, and I've done this before.
I was about to point that out too.
With my Wii U gamepad, I do it now. Where instead of buying a dock, if it's too expensive, okay, everyone has spare HDMI cables. If you don't, you can buy one for like $5 online, 6-foot. Get a spare HDMI cable, spend $30 on the AC adapter, and just plug it up in your second location in the house.
Yeah.
Like right now, I have 3 places I can plug up my Wii U gamepad: the bedroom, the living room, and a third place. So I always have some place I can plug my stuff up. So you don't need the dock at all. The thing takes USB-C. You know how many chargers out there? I'm pretty sure your current cell phone charger can charge the damn thing up.
Yeah, there's plenty of USB-C to HDMI adapters out there, and there's some with a little bridge on it. So there's an extra USB-C port on it in addition to the HDMI. So you could literally plug that up, and that's your dock. I don't know whether or not Nintendo's. From what I understand, they're just going to be straight done with this, and whatever's plugged up via USB-C is going to be dumb. When it comes to the HID chain, so it's going to be whatever.
It's just going to go right to whatever you plug it into, basically.
From what I understand, yes, that's what's going to happen. And granted, I see that being a possible security flaw, but at this point, like, nothing is immune anymore. Like, you can hack a console from wireless or whatever. That's basically how the Wii U supposedly got quote unquote hacked. It was through the web browser. Nobody still booted code up from the beginning. I know you've heard different things on your podcast or whatever, but nobody has hacked it from boot.
I started going back and forth with that idiot, and the reason why is because every time I mention it, all he said is, "Well, someone's almost had to completely." I said, "Well, I said no one's completely hacked it 100%. I don't give a shit how close they are. It's not complete."
Yeah.
And give it every excuse in the world that, it has been done. I say, okay, show me someone playing Splatoon on their PC.
I can show you a YouTube video right now of a PlayStation 4 booting directly into Linux. For reference, to show you what a real hack is. That's a real hack. Like, that console does not do what it was intended to do anymore. It is literally running Linux.
It's a Linux box.
Yeah. So. Say what you will about Nintendo and their secrecy or whatever. Obviously, it's for a reason. But I think, in my opinion, I think this is going to be a good buy. I have one pre-ordered currently. I may decide on more than one. Depends on how I feel. But I think it'll be a great device. It is literally what the Wii U should have been to a lot of people. Um, Broadcom was interviewed a long time ago about the Wii U, and they were asking, "Hey, do you think that Nintendo would ever stretch as far out as to make the Wii U gamepad work over WAN?" And they were like, "Well, this Broadcom chip is able to do it. I don't. It's up to Nintendo to use it that way." And that never came to fruition. But this is essentially what this is. So instead of it reaching back to go home to play the game is with you. And you don't have to worry about that wireless connection or that mobile connection or whatever. The game's there. So,
What you talking about, man? I was doing that at Smart Glass 2 years ago.
When has anybody played a full scale game on Smart Glass?
What do you mean, man? I was doing my inventory swap and stuff like that. Isn't that a full game? I mean, that's how they market it. Play your game over Smart Glass.
If you like to play inventory the video game, then yes, that's.
And just like any other platform, I bought a $500 Xbox One for Killer Instinct. I'm buying this $300 device for Zelda for the most part. I know other games are going to be there. This is more of a forward thinking buy more than the Xbox was. I didn't foresee what other games, because I didn't know where the Halo franchise was going to pan out. I thought the Gears franchise was completely over. So
everybody thought Gears was over.
Yeah,
I really actually didn't pan out.
Yeah, I really had no idea what Microsoft Game Studios was going to do for this platform going forward. I just knew I was going to get another Dance Central, and I knew that that Killer Instinct was there. So I'm like, okay, well, here we go. $600+ for a joystick and Killer Instinct and this console, and I'm happy because I get to play my game. But go ahead.
But speaking of Microsoft, I have something that I would like to ask you about. How do you feel about that whole scale-bound cancellation?
That hurt real bad because
I hurt everybody.
I was really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to it. I mean, whatever. I don't care who steps in. I don't care if it's Sony. I don't care if it's Nintendo. I don't even care if it's Activision at this point. Somebody's got to bring that back.
I kind of care if it's Activision.
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you something right now. All these games getting canceled and whatnot. Oh, it's just depressing because here's the thing too. I just can't stand when a lot of these publishers and a lot of these platforms have a good amount of IPs that they just let languish. You know what I'm saying? Like in the case of all the Rareware properties. You know what I'm saying? No Banjo, no Conquer,
Force
Gemini, no.
Why you gotta play with my heart like that, man?
Dude, I'm just saying, okay. And when we got things like Jack and Daxter, let me see what else is going on that they haven't had in a while. I can't even begin to go on with them with Sony. But you see my point. You know what I'm saying? They have like a wealth, each of them, of unique IPs they could put out over there. You know what I'm saying? That they could bring out to everybody, and they don't even take the opportunity to do so.
Hell, Nintendo even has a bunch of IPs that they could bring out that they don't.
I already know that. Like I said, I've been begging for a new Star Tropics for ages.
I think honestly they should do it. Like with the Switch, they should just go gung ho, hit all their old IPs up, and be like, "Look, we're gonna put out a new iteration for each one of y'all."
You know what? As a matter of fact, they could even go with a full-on throwback and go to Nintendo's arcade days and bring out a new version of Popeye. You want me to really go old school?
As long as they got the license for it, yeah.
Exactly.
Bring that back. Bring back Wrecking Crew. Go ahead, bring back Balloon Fight. Just throw all of it. Just go balls to the wall with all of it.
Sometimes though, you have to go from scratch. Kind of like how like Overwatch right now is currently a mix of old Blizzard Titan code and StarCraft Ghost stuff. So StarCraft Ghost coming out right now would probably not be a good idea, but something new like Overwatch is a new IP. They have custom skins and stuff in there that people that enjoy their type of franchises or whatever would be able to look at and see, oh, that's cute. They put this in here from this game that never made it out or whatever. They see that kind of stuff, but them saying if Overwatch came out and they called it StarCraft Ghost, it's here, it's finally back. You know, I don't think that would have went over well.
I definitely would want to see more RTS games brought out. Like back in the day, remember the N64 when they, even though it was real cumbersome to play, they had StarCraft and StarCraft Brute Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see.
Come on, man! You got Halo Wars too.
Oh Lord!
You know, shut up.
I would like to see. I would like to see, you know, games from smaller studios, like in the case of the game Spellforce. I loved Spellforce. I know you guys are probably were like, "What the hell, Spellforce, Quan?" Right?
I've heard the name, but I don't know the game.
Okay, listen. You can actually have a hero character that you change his stats, change his gear in accordance to regular RPG rules. Make him a ranger, make him a mage, whatever you want, right? You know,
but it's still an RTS.
It's still an RTS in this sense. I'm getting to that. Then you have the sub units that are sub hero units that you summon. And if they die, they can be resummoned from, you know, this little hero altar, as it were. Okay. And you can have up to 5 in your group, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And these individual ones, you can gear them out. They don't progress in level, but you can gear them out in accordance to, you know, what their class is and everything. And you can always find higher level ones as the game progresses, right? Then you got the RTS part of the scenario. Now you remember, this is all going on at the same time. The RTS portion, you have to get resources, etc., not build up your troops, but their level goes up in accordance to the runes you find based on the race. And later on in the game, you find higher level runes for each individual race that you can use. And there's a total of 6 races you could play as.
Okay.
So, yeah, you just go over there on Good Old Games, you'll see it. And by the way, they should pay me for this because I've been name dropping like a mother. I'll be name dropping these guys.
I mean,
like
maybe you should hit them up and say, "Hey, look, why don't we work out some sort of partnership? I talk about all y'all games, and y'all hit me with a free game every now and again."
Shoot, let me tell you something right now. With all the games they got, sheesh. Let me see what else I could. I'm gonna put a link over there in our chat. You guys are going to be the only ones able to see it, but hey, whatever. You know how it goes.
Well, it's just because YouTube won't let us drop the link in the chat for people. Oh.
And the thing is, this game is $10. It's on PC, and it comes with both expansions.
Interesting.
Trust me, you want to pull it doesn't feel like, okay, it doesn't have the same polish as, say, a Blizzard title, but still, for what it is, it does a good job.
Now that does remind me of something. That kind of reminds me of some of the stuff that should have been basically is overlooked stuff potential for Wii U. Some of that still carries over to Nintendo Switch. And what I'm thinking about that is the litany of smartphone games that can still be ported to this platform.
I would like to see an advanced version of a Me Battle.
There's several smartphone games that were really good games. I think would be good. But go ahead.
Very, very quick. My wife says hello to you guys.
Yo,
hello.
Oh, I met her. Tell her I said hi. And Wendy, Dr. Feelgood's wife says hi. Yeah, I almost used the real name.
Oh man. So I just think that could work. And that being said, you know, Angry Birds or hell, they could port their own Mario Run or Miitomo or whatever to it.
But hold on, Angry Birds is on PS4 now, but it doesn't have an excuse.
Angry Birds is on. Is it on Wii U or is it on Wii? I forget.
I think it's on Wii. I don't think it's on
Wii U. I think it is.
Is it on Wii U? I'm not sure.
I don't know, and nor do I
look
care.
back on the eShop.
I really don't.
I think it came in
It might have been the Star Wars one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it might have been Star Wars Angry Birds.
By the way, I posted the link. I posted the link for Spellforce Platinum, so you guys could check it out. Take a quick browse, you know.
Are you still playing Star Wars Old Republic?
Oh yeah,
the new expansion.
I need to get back into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to it. They updated a lot of stuff over the last 3 months.
EA, that would be a good game to put on the Switch.
Yeah, it would.
Hey, y'all still playing that Last of Us Online?
Oh Lord, this guy.
Oh Lord.
Why are you trolling?
I thought I asked. I mean, it's one of the hot franchises, man. I'm pretty sure it's very very populated. I'm sure.
Oh, by the way, if you're gonna play Spellforce, like I said, stick to the first one for a while because the second one, they changed way too much stuff.
Okay. But you saying The Last of Us? Yeah, that okay. Yeah, their online is about as populated as Titanfall 1.
Oh, by
You
the way,
bastard.
you know Nordic THQ.
Yeah.
They're the ones who owns the license to Spellforce, so there's a possibility that
Oh, cool. That would be good, and let that get. That would be another interesting title to put on the Switch.
yeah. I mean, you could put it even on PC, PS4. I don't care where it comes out, as long as it does, because it's
Well,
a very interesting. It's a very interesting series.
That's the problem, though. We don't have enough interesting games. We've just got a bunch of games that play the same.
You ever tried Risen?
No, I haven't. I've seen that. I know what that is, but I've never played it.
It's based loosely on the Gothic series. When Gothic fell under, when the people who made Gothic fell under, they sat up there, decided to create a new game, called it Risen, and make allusions to Gothic.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good. I own Gothic 1, 2, and 3. I also own Risen 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, I'm a fan of these little smaller studio games. I love them because I like to see them try something different with story or with gaming mechanics or anything, you know.
Well,
But
I'm gonna troll for a bit here, just for like a good 10 seconds. But back to the a price of accessories regarding the Switch. If it's so damn expensive, why does it sell out in minutes? That's my
yeah,
business.
all of them did. Every last one of them did. So Insane Gamer.
I mean, I thought when something costs too much, you don't buy it.
Yeah, you don't.
But
Like the
I'm
PS3
just
originally
saying,
at launch.
oh Lord, don't even get me started about the
Yeah,
PS3 launch.
that whole Wii 60 movement, that was kind of weird.
Mm.
So Nissan Gamer in the chat said that Angry Birds Trilogy came out for Wii U, and I kind of remember that, but I think it was physical only. I don't see it on the eShop right now. But I think I remember seeing it on the eShop before though. Maybe they took it down.
They probably did because they took a whole bunch of
I
stuff
was
down.
I was gonna buy it. I was gonna buy it until I was like, why are they charging like price for this game like this?
Yeah, it was like $50 or something. It was kind of high.
Go to GameStop and get it used for cheap.
Yeah.
Or just don't get it at all. I mean,
That'll work too.
I don't mean to throw shade at Angry Birds. It's just not my thing at all. I can't stand it.
I still got Wii U games I need to get.
Question now. So here's my question to you guys: Who all? I have two of them. Who all is gonna buy Horizon Zero Dawn the week of the Switch?
Man, I kind of want Horizon
I think the only
Zero Dawn,
person
though.
I know of that's doing that is Terminator Juice.
Yeah, he probably gonna buy both. You know, he got that
All right,
bread.
now, who thinks this game? Who thinks this game is going to make his money back since it's releasing the same week as the Switch?
I don't think it's gonna make it back at all. I think they know that game is not gonna sell like that.
Even if it wasn't coming out the same week as the Switch, I don't think it was gonna make his money back.
Yeah.
And that's
I think Zelda's
Looks like
gonna
a
kill
good game.
its sales potential though.
It likely will.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm thinking what's gonna happen is that game's gonna fall off. I'm gonna be mad that I bought it when I bought it, and it'll probably be like $20 somewhere.
And it's bad because that's another game that looks like it's gonna be interesting, looks like it's gonna be fun, but people ain't gonna buy it.
And also, one of the divisions of the studios closed down too.
You know, I'm checking out about this one game on Steam that's actually intriguing me right now called Kane, and it's a free isometric game. It's based on by the people that made Stasis. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I never heard of Stasis.
It's an isometric horror game.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, think about a very, very, very Lovecraftian version of Fallout.
Okay. Original Fallout, like Fallout 2.
Original, yeah, the real Fallout.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how I miss those days.
But it could be done though. Like the old BioWare games did that. Like there were dungeons in like Icewind Dale and the original Tales of the Sword Coast, like I was kind of scared to move forward sometimes. So, and they have the music and stuff like it. It can be done.
I got that in my backlog. Icewind Dale, never played it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get on it.
I gotta do that. You've
played Neverwinter though, right?
Neverwinter Nights. Yeah. Which one? Are you talking about the AOL RPG? Are you talking about
no. The physical release. Where they
you're talking about the one from BioWare. Okay.
Yeah. And they eventually went back and redid both of the original games with that same art style.
Oh, nice.
They went back and did Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 like that.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see enhanced graphics all the way up, but done in an isometric view, a la Fallout 1 and 2 in the Fallout universe.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And guess what? Make it real time. Make
real time combat.
Make it real time, right? And make it multiplayer. And people go like this, why would I want multiplayer? Simple, because you could ramp up the difficulty like crazy. It'd be interesting to see everybody sitting up here and planning their positions and coming up with different things in combat, specializing in classes, whether it be a hacker, a person who specializes in repairs, a person kind of like what they did in System Shock 2, but in an isometric format. I would love to see something, like I said, something that puts a twist on the old or something that's completely brand new.
I thought Dragon Age was kind of the closest to that, because you can either do turn-based, extended turn-based, or you can do like live battles kind of deal. So
exactly, they originally they were supposed to do that with Project Van Buren, the version of Fallout 3 that never came into fruition by Interplay. That was the original concept behind it, if I'm not mistaken, that they were going to make it alternate between real time and also, turn-based. But that never came to being because, they sold the license to BioWare. I mean, not BioWare, what am I saying? Bethesda.
I appreciate it when they did it. Like it was in it was in the first Mass Effect too. I appreciate when you're able to you can choose whether you want to go the longer route, the strategic route, or just go guns blazing if you want to. I just think that there should be a combination of that in a lot of real time, a lot of RPG games going forward, to be honest with you.
But to be honest, I think that they need to add an extra bonus for people who go the strategy out versus the guns blazing. You know what I'm saying?
Because you have to spend more time. So
exactly. And not to mention, you sit there and analyze the patterns. It kind of fits in with real life. If you learn the patterns of things, it should be that much easier the next time around.
Yep. Excuse us gamers talking about games over here. We're being wrong. I'm sorry. We should be talking about the rumors and stuff.
You're not supposed to talk about video games. You're supposed to whine and complain about specs and prices. Blasphemy.
Nah, it's all affordable to me. I'm perfectly down with everything that Nintendo Switch has right now. I think every single accessory that they've priced, I can afford that. That's not a problem. And that being said, I can't do like it. I hate ragging on this dude, but he's like a good 5 years behind where I am right now, and he's talking down to everybody on the internet like it's the first time it's ever been done. But Rich keeps talking about being a father, and now he wants to be able to be on the road or have a mobile console. And I'm like, bruh, that's where Rich, I was at with Wii U.
Bruh, you well behind, Rich.
Like, why weren't you saying that with the Wii U? Like, it's the same thing. You can sit on the John and do whatever. And you
hold on. Who remembers Gamer Nate?
Of course.
In his truck, he used to have an outlet that he put inside there, and he used to plug in his Wii U and used to play games while he was trucking. I don't want to hear no excuses, man.
Nah, like the Wii U was basically the portable home console until the idea of the Switch came out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And now, the rest is history. So I just somebody said, "Am I dreaming?" A New Gamers at Large episode. Everybody's talking trash. It's okay. We appreciate it. As long as you're here in the chat, you're watching. Great.
Yes, Chariot Goblin. Yes, it is a new episode.
We're here. We're back.
There will be more to come, bruh.
Yeah, we're down one guy right now. He had to go for a little bit, and I'm probably about to. I guess we can go ahead and start turning this one in as well. But I just wanted to kind of like air a lot of the grievances. With me being the quote unquote resident tech guy and all that other kind of stuff, like I don't even really need to go on the weeds right there. Nintendo's already answered.
He says that like I'm not here. Go ahead.
I mean,
throwing
Quan, we've done the PC talk together already. We've done one with Jay and probably Mr. T, I think, at one point in time. But
me.
we did the intro. We did a bunch of them. But I just don't. I really don't see a need for any of the talk right now. We know Nintendo doesn't talk specs. They have a quote from Satoru Iwata from back in the GameCube days where they don't matter anyway, because none of these people that quote these specs, they're not going to be real world. You're not going to see that in the game. You're not going to see 1.8 teraflops. You're not going to see 6 teraflops in a game. And if you did, you're not going to recognize it and know what's happening. So what's the point of even bragging about something that's not reality? Why are you talking about 450 million polygons per second, and then we look at your character model and it's comprised of the same amount of polygons that GameCube games had? I can't. These days, it's all about the flash, the substance, not even the substance, the checkbox. It's literally a checkbox. We have this buzzword, this buzzword, this buzzword, and this buzzword. You don't understand any of them, but you don't have to, because we're saying they're buzzwords and you should get it because said buzzword. Really? We're sitting here talking about floating point 16, like doing half precision floats and stuff like that. And you're saying, well, FP16 makes the PlayStation 4 Pro 4 teraflops. No. And that procedure, that quote-unquote technique was introduced in 2002. It's nothing new.
Hold on. I got to say something. With all this mess that they talk about specs and they talk about polygon count and they talk about this, that, and whatever, why is it that the most popular game on these platforms happens to be Minecraft?
Exactly.
No, and I'm not clowning anybody. No, I'm just being honest.
You're right, though.
The irony is, I have here 32 games on my Wii U that the grandkids can borrow at any moment. Not to mention the 2 games my wife owns, right? Yet the first thing the grandkids ask for is what?
Minecraft.
Exactly, yep. Minecraft.
I look at it from another way. These developers want power so bad because they want their quote unquote vision to be achieved. Why are you on consoles at all? Why don't you just do PC and build from the ground up? Just have really high minimum specs.
Let that be your main platform of choice, and then scale it down for consoles. You're done.
They don't want to do it.
You know, the thing is, they complain that they want a closed system that's easy to develop for, because they don't want to go through all the trouble of taking into account various graphics cards, various amounts of physical memory, various amounts of power on the GPU side and CPU side of things, or whether or not it's going AMD or Intel, et cetera, and whatnot. They don't want to go that route.
Money.
But yet they demand power. You know, it's a trade-off.
It boils down to money, in my opinion, because what they want the same power Nintendo had when it came to the NES and SNES. They want to develop whatever the hell they want to develop for whoever they want to develop. They want to get paid for the idea. They want to get paid everything for the sales. They want all the money. But thing is, if you want the money, you have to. It's best if you do like Nintendo. You make your own hardware and you make your own software.
Or you know what?
They don't even have to make their own hardware.
It's not even
like
an issue.
That's how you keep all the money in your hand, but they're not going to do that.
Ken, hear me. I mean, Todd, fill me out. Okay, they need to sit up here and understand that developing for a closed system would be to their advantage, especially if they learned how to keep costs down.
Exactly.
Okay, because take a look at Tomb Raider. When Tomb Raider came out, the new version of Tomb Raider that came out, the recent one, not the Rise of Tomb Raider. I'm talking about, before that one.
About the reboot, I know.
Yeah, the reboot.
When the reboot came out, you noticed that they said that they made a lot of money on it, but they didn't hit their target, and it was disappointing to them. Because the thing is, they spent too much on Tress effects rather than actual story and focusing on fleshing that out. You know, the writing is a lot cheaper than dealing with polygon counts and adding different types of effects and then licensing for those effects and et cetera and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
And see, when it comes to writing, like for example, I've heard almost every person that, even the ones that bitch about this game, everyone that bought this game and played it, include, they love it for the writing alone.
But the thing is, I'm just
That game, almost everyone I know that plays that game, the first thing they say is, "Man, the writing is spectacular. The story is great." Not that it has a better battle system than Thousand Year Door and things like that, but the first thing they talk about, and all they talk about typically, is the writing.
But people
That
have
it
been
sticks with
dissing the
you. My
game
wife
because of
hated.
that.
She beat the game.
People been dissing the game because of that, because they didn't want to quote unquote play through the battle system to get the story. Uh, but every other game you can weigh on the story. I don't get it.
I mean,
Like, they pick and choose
yeah.
because Uncharted, because Last of Us, never mind, you're doing the same thing over and over again a lot of the time. But if you want to say that the total experience can be the story sometimes, or you just say, to you, in your opinion, the entire package was complete and the story helped to get there, because the gameplay maybe wasn't there the whole time and there were some other issues, but the story helped wrap it up to be a more complete experience, then say that. But don't say, oh, this is the best story I've ever had in the game of all time, therefore it's the greatest game of the year, and blah 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 blah.
That's
then,
advertising talk.
yeah, but then the RPG comes out, which clearly is going to have a more epic story, and then you shit all over it.
exactly. And, you know, here's one thing that also I find interesting is when people try to do quick and dirty ports of games and then just up polygon counts and think that they're doing us a favor. Who's ever played Rhodia the Sky Soldier?
Oh yeah,
I've
this
seen
game.
You
This
know
game
I
what?
has
have
been.
I have not
You know,
opened it yet, but
That's
I
a
do have
title
a Wii U.
of disdain for everyone.
you know what I'm getting at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, everybody, I'm gonna say this flat out: play the Wii version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what everyone is saying.
Wait,
Play
but
the
you know
Wii
what?
version.
Another game I want to bring up, and to me, I still, to this day, I cannot stand the fact that this game did not sell well. I really do hope there's a sequel, and I hope it makes its way to the Switch, although impossible, I know. But Sunset Overdrive,
Mm.
I love that game. Like Shadow Fox, you bought your Xbox One purely for Killer Instinct. I knew from the moment I saw Sunset Overdrive, I wanted that. I've
Um.
enjoyed the shit out of it. And dude, the story is so fourth wall. Almost
Oh
everything about
yeah.
the game is fourth wall. Like there's an actual mission. You meet an icon lady, and basically it's about quest icons. And then you look at the lady, and she's like, "Do you need any help?" And she's like, "No, I'm good." She says, "Are you sure?" I said, "A whole bunch of quest icons back here." She says, "Well, I'm good, but if you want to help out, I can." And she says, "What's so special about these damn quest icons?" She says, "It's not what's in them; it's what you get after you complete them." And then I'm
Wow.
thinking, this is a damn game. This shit is funny. And so when you go looking for one, you like your teammate has one, and she says, "Yes, I need to get that back because the lady wants it." She says, "Well," he said, "I used it." She said, "What the hell you use it on?" He says, "Well, I use it on you. I gave you a quest to do."
Oh my
And
god.
then she says, "Well, I need it back." And then he said, "Well, what happens if I bought the quest for her to give a quest to you for you to complete it and give it back to me?" She says, "Well, the fucking game's gonna crash. That's what's gonna happen."
Oh wow.
And
Yep.
dude, it's that fourth wall
It is
crazy.
fourth wall.
Even
The
when you beat the
ending is fourth
game,
wall.
even when you beat the game,
He's like,
when
what
you
kind of
first beat
ending
the
is
game,
that?
she walks out. She walks out with her credits rolling. She says, "What end is that?" She says, "Did you choose it? Did you? What about you?" She says, "We're not going to end the game like this.
Who
We're just
chose
not
this
going to end it
ending?
like this." And she rolls the tape back, and you get a second ending, and you have to play the game some more.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that game is
Yes,
awesome.
that is exactly.
You do
But
think this
I could
you
I
know
could
what it
see
kind of
Sunset
reminds me of? Who
Overdrive.
remembers in Chrono Trigger the developer ending?
Yes, I remember that
Hmm.
when
The
they're
one
sitting
with
down
with
talking about everything.
yeah, Luca and Marley was sitting up
Yeah.
ragging on everybody.
Straight fourth wall. And I'm with you. I'm with you, Dr. Field, and I'm with you on that because but I don't think Sunset Overdrive was a launch game. I think it got pushed back to the beginning of the next year. I think it was like 2014 game.
Yeah.
I didn't play it. I didn't play it until maybe the middle of that year, and I didn't finish it until this year. Well, 2016. I didn't finish it until then, And yeah, man, that game, oh my God. Like I had so much fun in that game, just customizing your character and bouncing around and whatever. And it's just
And
a
guess
lot of
what?
fun.
It does the same thing. It does the same thing that Xenoblade does and Lego City does. It loads the whole damn map
Yep.
at once. The whole
Yep.
map. And guess what? No load times whatsoever. Even when you fall off a building, a portal will open to put you back on a level.
And you walk right
And
back
like
out
even when you like when
with
even you
different
like doing
effects. Like she
certain
comes out
missions
doing
or
the mummy
fighting
dance.
bosses, exactly. Even you fighting certain bosses or completing certain missions, what'll happen is she'll say it'd be like a cross town. She says, "Man, I'm so glad there are fast travel points.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're trying to get there on foot."
like that would
And
take
that's
forever.
when you would load though. That's the only time when you would load. And I think that's more CPU bound than anything else. But yeah, and that's them. That's Naughty Dog. That's Naughty Dog. No, not Naughty Dog. Who made this game? I forget.
No, Insomniac.
Yeah, Insomniac. So
Insomniac.
they looked down and they said, okay, how do we maximize this hardware? This game was literally a test for them to prove that the way that Microsoft structured their memory. They basically followed it like GameCube did, and they were able to say we can do open world games on this platform because the whole thing is 8 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs. GDDR5 is what whatever. And we look at Grand Theft Auto 5 dropping in the teams on PS4. And optimization is king, people. But anyway, so they had to prove that this open world game ran smoothly, was vibrant and colorful. So they weren't cheating. They weren't showing grays and stuff like that to get back on the textile bandwidth here. So they used the full color gamut, 32-bit color, to run this game. And you could tell that this is only for Xbox One, and they actually maximized for the hardware. So it looks great. It's a great game. Obviously, it looks more like a Nintendo game, like they're saying in the chat. But it is what it is, man. That was just a plus to me because I had already bought it for Killer Instinct. So
I recommend anyone that has an Xbox One, you can find this game on Amazon for like $8 to $10.
yep.
And I mean, hell, they gave it away for free back in August. Like it was actually free for the Xbox, like monthly Xbox Live games ago. It was free.
They actually
Actually,
gave it free
physical and
twice.
digital.
They gave it free twice.
Also, if you don't have a PC, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Ori and the
listen,
Blind Forest.
Really good game.
Getting on good games and whatnot, you see a lot of remakes and remasters and all that, but they remaster recent games. There's a lot of companies that own the rights to certain older games. I'm talking games going back quite a few, a decade or two ago.
Like Earthworm Jim?
No. I'm not talking Earthworm Jim. I'm going to mention a classic to you, Anachronox.
Aquanox,
no, Anachronox.
Oh, I thought you said Aquanox. That was the Matrix card game. I remember that game.
No, Anachronox, that's the one where you're supposed to be this guy named Sly Boots and you're like a private detective. And
It sounds so familiar.
And the person that owns the people that own the license is Square Enix, and it was a really good for Ion Storm.
They own it and they don't use it.
They own it,
and
the
from Ion Storm though. So
that thing, look up Anachronox on YouTube, and you'll see a video clip taking all their cutscenes, make it into one long video. And if you ever sit up there and watch the writing and see the character interaction, it's hilarious. And it's a shame. No different than let me see, what's another good one to mention? Barge Tale, not the first one that came out back in the day that was like first person perspective and whatnot, where you point and click adventure like. No, I'm talking
remade
about
Barge Tale.
The remade Barge Tale, where they sat up there and had that guy from The Princess Bride do the voice of the main character.
Is it Bard's Tale, the RPG, or the Bard's Tale?
The Bard's Tale, I think it is.
Okay, got it.
Look on Good Old Games and look on Steam. You should find it.
Man.
Yeah, they did. Okay, In Exile made it.
And those are some people from Blackout Studios. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
From Interplay, the parent company's Interplay.
They ported this game to Mac. Downloading. Tommy Tallarico did the soundtrack.
Dude, this game is shot out. I'm talking about they give the character a choice to go on adventures and save the kingdom and whatnot, or go for babes and treasure. Guess which route he chose. I mean, this game is shot out. It is crazy. You know what I'm saying? You would definitely like it. And I think it comes with the original Bard's Tale if you get it on Steam and you get it on Good Old Games. I'm not quite sure.
It's probably Steam because they're bundling a lot of stuff lately. Like we were talking before about Baldur's Gate, they're bundling all those together too with Icewind Dale and some other stuff.
Oh, guess who's the narrator? Tony J.
Tony J's doing what?
The narration.
He's the narrator for this game?
And they break the fourth wall left and right.
Huh. I'm trying.
Like he'll sit up here and say something exaggerated, like "kill this wolf." He drops a whole bunch of treasure, and wait a minute, that's not right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stuff like that happens.
Man, that dude has a very distinct voice.
Exactly. He's awesome for narration.
Like
I
told wow, he played Frollo, Hunchback.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know me, I can recommend some old school games.
Yeah, it's on God.
I need you talking to these companies when they decide to do a remaster. Be like, hey, you've got a whole catalog back here. Stop making games that came out 2 years ago over again.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I would especially love to see a remaster of Bard's Tale because it would be hilarious.
For Sidekick Cooper in the chat, yes, I have beat World Heroes 1, World Heroes 2, and World Heroes 2 Jet.
I beat the first two. I never played Jet.
Play with Jan. The game is easy.
I've just never played Jet. That's the problem. I've just never played Jet. I've played the first two. And I think I basically mastered every character.
Hold on, he said the Neo Geo emulator on Wii U. He must mean Wii mode.
No, with the soft hack, you can put it on the Wii.
Oh, with the Banner Bomb or whatever, the evolution of Banner Bomb. Yeah. Nah, not doing the soft hack. I'm okay.
I say that. See, that's what you buy a second Wii U for if you're going to do that. Get a second one. Get a backup one just in case, because you don't want the one to go down like something get corrupted.
Yeah,
my system.
I'm so good on that. I got some ROM somewhere. I could probably go back and play it again, but the PC I originally had that for, like that version of MAME probably doesn't even support those ROMs anymore. So they've changed everything around. So I have to build that old PC all over again to make it work. So
Yo, Shadow, do you think you're going to give Bard's Tale a try?
I might. It came out for the original Xbox too. They ported it to the original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I'm like, listen, if we getting all these remasters, why can't we get a remaster of Jade Empire?
Oh,
man,
please don't get me started.
Was a good game.
Or remaster Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2
with the missing content.
With the missing content for the second one that the PC has a fan patch for.
Mm-hmm. Thank you,
man. Microsoft spent some money on BioWare back then. They spent some money on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Knights of the Old Republic ended up on goddamn Android.
Yeah,
they could do a remaster.
Oh, hold up, real quick. Shadow Fox. This one on Good Old Games includes Bard's Tale 1, 2, and 3, the original ones.
Oh, really? Let me click on that link.
Okay, I'm about to link you up right now. Hold on.
Oh, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. It says, yeah, and then they're selling Neverwinter Nights Diamond too for $10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be hitting up Good Old Games a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's on here.
I got an account with them. I just hardly ever use it anymore.
Shoot.
But seeing all these games I can be playing, I might just go back and do that.
Wait till they got weekly sales coming up. This is the third weekly sale. You could save a bunch, man. That's how I got most of it. My back catalog on there is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I have been sticking to Steam all this time. I can fool with them too.
Well, and Good Old Games is DRM free.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So you keep them forever.
You know you could cross buy.
How would that work?
Okay, if you buy it on there's certain games that you buy on Good Old Games, they have Steam Connect. And what
so
that
you can
does
import it back into Steam?
Yep, download it right there on the Steam client with no problem, and still have a DRM free version.
That's cool.
Yay! Smart thinking.
Mm-hmm. See,
I wonder how they
guys,
work that out with Valve.
oh, hold on a second. See, guys, that's true PC Master Race thinking right there.
Yeah,
Not sitting up here fanboying.
I wonder how they did it though. I wonder how because they had to talk to Valve to make that work.
Yeah, of course.
That's interesting.
I mean, Valve was probably just like, "Hey, this is more money for us. Go ahead, we can do that."
Because there's more potential people that'll play the game.
Yep.
Not to mention, people notice the fact that there is a GOG around. They're gonna sit up here and start buying their games more in GOG, and it does a favor for the parent company to CD Projekt Red. Hey, that means more Witcher games. It might be not more Geralt games, but more Witcher games.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, I don't care who the Witcher is as long as the game is good.
There you go.
I mean, it's not like Mario where you have to have Mario be Mario, but and even then they swapped him out a few times. So
okay, so this should conclude our bonus episode of Gamers at Large. We're right at about 120 minutes as well. So yeah,
we should wrap up.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If there are any, I don't know if there's any, I ain't seen any questions in the chat or anything like that we haven't answered already. So, Andre, you got anything?
The only things I have currently, since I've finally gotten out of my shtick of a gamer's thoughts videos, which I put like 18 of those up already. I'm going back to the videos I've been planning to do. Well,
Okay.
with my ideas, like I said, the Ikaruga one. If one watch, I talk about different play methods and stuff that the Switch can potentially do, which is one thing people seem to complain about. Like, hey, let's have options to charge us for online gameplay, but let's not have options for different control methods for play for different people. You know,
Ikaruga is a game about switching. Why not play it on the Switch?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, and look, the HD Rumble would benefit the hell out of that game.
Oh yeah, Rumble period.
And one thing I talked about for it is if like they had different methods of HD Rumble and allow you to be able to choose which one you want to use for your play style. And that's something that they could do. That's a whole new world of gameplay opened up.
Yep. Think of the possibilities.
Blake, but people don't think that way.
Not at all.
Game developers don't even think that way anymore.
Nah, they get that phone call from the publisher. They're like, make it now. And there they go.
Yep.
So,
but that's it for me.
Outstanding. Quan, what you got?
Well, I might actually do something like a throwback review for some games later on this week on my channel and jump into whoever's podcast that I get an invite from. That's basically it.
Okay. Sounds good. I might have something for you.
Okay, cool. Good. All right. You got my number. You know how to hit me up on the phone.
Outstanding. Dr. Feelgood, what you got for us?
Well, glad to be back to the Gamers at Large. Be on the lookout for an OGL this week. I haven't made the event yet, but I'm going to. I may also be working on a couple of new videos, video prescriptions. They probably won't be
Give out that medicine, Doc.
Got to.
I'm already burned out on Switch already, so I've already said my piece. I'm done with it. Other than that, as I always say, just keep it gaming, you cheap ass rat bastards.
All right. Well, I'm your humble host, Shadow Fox Infinite. The only thing that I have is there will be a Shadowcast this week. I will not be doing any videos regarding anything that's happened in the past couple of weeks because Nintendo pretty much owned all those people. So there's no reason for me to. So that being said, this is Gamers at Large. And as I always say, do you play games to have fun or to impress other people? We're out.
Whatever's clever, people.
Always to impress other people.